Hey, welcome to another episode of Veterans Rant, Rattle, and Roll. Today I get the extreme privilege of talking to former Marine Brian Krem, who lives up in Michigan. How we doing, Brian?
Doing good today.
Awesome. Down here in North Virginia, the city of, which is like that big. And of course, it's thundering and lightning. So it's like being in the field all over again.
I got the pleasure of staying in the desert. So we welcomed rain if it ever showed up.
There you go. Why don't you tell us about that? So when did you go in the Marine Corps?
I joined the Marine Corps. I went into the DEP program in 2006. Ended up breaking my ankle thanks to I was riding my bike across traffic like a normal teenager, 18-year-old, whatever, who thought the rules didn't apply to him. Rode it across traffic, got hit by a car that was like turning left from that stoplight and broke my ankle.
Wow.
So I delayed it like quite a bit. I had to wait 3 months to recover before I could even take the boot off. And then another 3 months, I want to say. I joined in May 21st, 2007.
So May of 2007, after you already proved that you were accident prone with bikes.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to boot camp?
I went to boot camp in San Diego. Obviously 3 months long. It was probably one of the biggest culture shocks I ever really experienced in my entire life, kind of a deal.
Tell me, what do you mean?
I mean, basically having your entire day micromanaged down to like literally the minute was very new to me. I was a very young free spirit, so to speak.
Awesome. So what job did you end up with in the Marine Corps?
I was a 7314, a UAV operator. So I don't know if too many people are familiar with that. So we basically use a computer to fly an aircraft. It's like 14 feet by 11 feet and all that fun stuff. I was stationed in 29 Palms, California. So I got to see plenty of the desert. Really came to appreciate California for the scenery and everything like that. It's awfully beautiful there.
Ah. So did you do a lot of video games before the Marine Corps?
Yeah, that's basically how I passed my time.
You think that might have had something to do with becoming a UAV operator?
Actually, it was an option. I didn't get. I'm not as Marines aren't as graced with like, I guess that kind of freedom. Like typically, if it's not anything directly like artillery or infantry related, then we sign options, which is basically like a Hail Mary pass to hopefully get the one job out of the 12 that they offer you.
Is that the one you wanted?
Yeah, it is actually. That's why I signed. It's a B7 ground electronics option.
So how long were you in the Marine Corps?
I was in the Marine Corps for about 7.5 years.
Did you deploy overseas? Did you go play in the sandbox?
I did. I got to play in Iraq for a couple months. We were the last ones to get pulled out of there. Like when I first got to the fleet, whatever, we got trained. They got to speed me up for like 4 or 5 months. So there's only two VMUs. That's what our units were called, VMUs, that were stood up. So it was like literally like a 6 month on, 6 month off rotation. When I got to the fleet, I got to go to Iraq, which was interesting. But I was only there for about 3 months or so, just long enough to get the campaign medal. And then we came back. We had about a year or so before our next deployment, and that ended up being to Afghanistan. We were the second VMU to get to Afghanistan during the whole Marja push. I don't know if you're too familiar with that, but that was kind of like Afghanistan's. It's not coming to me.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. So, how long were you in Afghanistan?
I was there for 7 months. Did a 7-month tour. Year later, went back and did another 7-month tour and everything like that. It was super fun. Learned a lot about myself on those deployments and everything like that.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Yeah, and come to find out that movie Jarhead, like, so one of my biggest experiences, like, the kind of, like, made me like really humbled and everything like that. And it may not be a whole lot to everybody, but my first deployment to Afghanistan. I got the pleasure of going to work with another civilian contractor detachment it was called Scan Eagle. Basically, it's a much smaller aircraft that is designed to like chase tuna or monitor like tuna migrations in the oceans. So I got to fly, or I got the mission command for that. I didn't get to fly it. I just watched civilian contractors. So I got to do like the airspace control and everything like that. As far as like our aircraft, but so I was on FOB Edinburgh, and it was probably close. I got to do like a little 2-month stint, so I got to go do that, and probably about a month in and everything like that, I got to experience like my first IED explosion, and I learned that it's like at first I was kind of like, what's that? And then I felt the shockwave go through me and everything like that. And that was a really humbling experience because I was a grown adult that almost peed his pants.
Well, sometimes you got to put a little water on the floor. Nothing wrong with it. You know, I've said it 1,000 times. It don't matter the toughest of the tough or the meekest of the meek. When things start happening, then you find out how you're going to respond that one time. I didn't respond the same way every time. You can't tell me, or did you? Did you respond exactly the same every time?
No, not the same. Like it almost became on my second deployment. It became kind of like a regular thing. It was it like I don't. So we got put on. I'm gonna say a bunch of base names. I don't expect anybody to actually like kind of for it to click anybody, but it was Delaram 2. I got to do the same thing I got to do in FOB Edinburgh. I got to do in the first half of my second deployment to Afghanistan with FOB Delaram, and it was during that whole the Quran burning back in 2010, something like that.
Okay.
I'm sure nobody committed to memory, but
what RC was you in? Did the Marines break Afghanistan up into RC regional commands, or was that just an Army thing?
RC Southwest.
Okay.
And so that Delaram 2 was closer to the mountains in like I think it's the northwest.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, during that whole thing kind of popped off, or the Quran burning happened, and then we took probably 2 to 3 weeks of mortar fire from one of those really sweet Hiluxes that they drive around. So that's where it became just kind of like, oh, whatever. If it's my time, whatever.
Are you trying to say that you were never bored in Afghanistan?
Oh no, I was bored. There was a lot of
right. We all get bored, exactly. So hey, that's a good rattle. We enjoyed that rattle. Rattle that saber. Tell people what you did. How about we jump on to a little bit of a rant? Tell me something that you worked really hard to get good at in the Marine Corps. It took a lot of effort, a lot of focus, something that you did. Look at you thinking and smiling right now. Come on, let me know.
Well, a lot of something. I mean, picking up sergeant was probably like the biggest thing that ever meant anything to me. And
all right.
And I'm a pretty like nonchalant, I guess, like passive personality kind of a thing. So like the energy
perfect for the Marine Corps.
Yeah, right. I think I joined the Marine Corps to just kind of like one up everybody I knew that was in the Army, kind of a deal, you know.
All right.
But picking up sergeant, like it took a lot of personality shifting, or even like it took a little bit for me to go from lance corporal to corporal.
Sure.
But it wasn't. I don't feel like it was nearly as drastic as what I had to do shifting to sergeant, because I had to show that initiative, I had to show that leadership qualities, and everything like that. So that was my proudest like crowning achievement in my military career, I guess.
Awesome. Was it a lot of work? Did you put in a lot of extra effort?
Personality wise and work ethic wise, I would say yeah. Like I'm a pretty lazy person, so I had to put in all that work physically to really make my scores as best as I could and everything like that. So
Or so what
yeah.
was did you ever like hit the top score on the PT?
I came close. I think I got like a 285, something like that. But
And
like the run,
where does the Marines max out at? 300?
yeah.
Good.
I got these little legs that are about 2 inches long, so it makes running really difficult.
Hey, but you did it, right?
Yeah, I did it. I was super stoked.
You found a way. So you look like a duck. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like a duck?
This is probably for the younger crowd, but I looked like Dexter running from Dexter's Lab.
All right, all right. So we've already started laughing, so we're rolling right into it. So tell me something. Tell me something funny. Tell me something you remember in the Marine Corps that just made you go, ah! Whoops, stumped him.
I know.
It's all right. I mean, some people really have that story. Some don't. It's okay. It's all good.
Like really, all my like embarrassing or like.
I didn't say you had to tell a funny story about yourself.
Well, those are the best stories to tell. So
if you got one, give it up. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm kind of
fine. You're fine. Hey, I am very, very humbled and grateful that you're on here. Right? Obviously, talking about what you've done doesn't come just like blah from you. This is not something that you just talk about every day, and I respect the willingness to jump on here with me and open up a little bit. And because I respect that, I was wondering if you maybe have something you want to say to help us stop 22. What do you have to say to those fellow brothers and sisters that are veterans that have been through their stuff and they're in a bad spot?
From my experiences, swallow your pride. Like I went through a very, very rough spot with my separation from the military and everything like that. Like rougher than anything I could have imagined, to be honest with you. I was contemplating suicide. I was cutting myself, all sorts of stuff like that. And like everything in you that the military instilled into you, I would say kind of counteracts the efforts that you should be making as far as your mental health. And it really took me, because I thought that like cutting and everything like that, I thought it was like helping me. Kind of like if you get a tattoo, it kind of makes you feel good for like the next hour or two, and it really wasn't. It wasn't until that I decided to swallow my pride when it came to everything like that. And you really got to open up as far as like allowing whoever you're working with to really help you progress through that. Even if on the first try you don't find someone who like really connects and helps you like kind of helps you navigate through the issues that you're facing, I would say that you should just keep trying to find one. Like I found one on my first try, granted, but and I'm super thankful because I know not every veteran out there finds the help they need on the first try that they attempt. So keep looking for somebody as long as you're gonna remain humble about it and interact with whoever you're working with. I highly encourage you to keep looking for somebody that you feel like you're making progress with. Like I went back the second time. I still go back, in all honesty. I still go back to when I'm feeling like when I feel like I'm at that point where I can't handle everything that's going on. I make an appointment with the VA for a couple weeks to like kind of reiterate some of the things that they taught me. But definitely swallow your pride and have an open mind. Connect with the person you're trying to work with, and everything will go a lot smoother.
Can't tell you thanks enough for that, Brian. It's to step up and share that kind of stuff and let our fellow vets know that, hey, we all went through some stuff. So if we can remember it, why we went in, the things we overcame, and find a way to maybe laugh about some of the stuff, and not be too freaking hard to go get help and say, hey, you know what? I don't know what to do. I've done it. I've asked for help many times. I'm dang proud of you, Brian. Well, Sergeant Krem, I've enjoyed our 15 minutes together. It's been a blast. The weather here in Virginia is not helping out. I'm seeing all the flashes behind back here. So hopefully it's not as entertaining as it sounds on my end. And I look forward to possibly talking again in the future. All right?
All right. Sounds good, Pops.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.